everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in 2019 from Ohio State. It's Dwayne Haskins.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that. But he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And here now, the Baltimore offense.
Matt Breida often gets overlooked when we talk about top running backs in the NFL, but he had a very efficient season in 2018, almost doubling his rookie season yardage. And if he gets a spot of daylight, look out. Registered the fastest carry in the NFL in 2018, hitting nearly 22 miles per hour.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now a give coming right is Breida. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. He's got Curse. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 16 yards, a first down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Now a play fake here on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives.
Here we go.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Now the second year back from LSU, it's Darius Geis. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
The second-round pick out of LSU. The league's about to get their first real extended look at running back Darius Geis, who missed all of his rookie season with a knee injury, but he was ultra-productive in college with over 3,000 yards rushing, a strong runner inside, can also get to the perimeter. He's fortunate enough that the knee injury happened early enough in the season last year that he should be ready to go for all of 2019.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down. Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
I got it. Watch tight. Tight ends right.
Mayfield to throw it this time. Forced out to his left. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there on a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spot, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all it does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Back to the ground game now with Geis. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to...
Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. The safety Terrell Edmonds picks it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 46 yards. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And down inside the 15 he goes. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. From the red zone now, Haskins on first down. That's complete right around the 8. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. The numbers for Davis last week, 7 catches, 127 yards.
And he's number 6 in the league in receiving yards, and he plays for his team first. But he also, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, if I can get into the top 5, that might affect his bonus in his contract.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
The Ravens on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is third. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Corey Davis, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Geis with a carry on second down. And he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. He may try and run for this. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscore. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it.
On 2nd down, here's Haskins. And Lewis has it, the tight end. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
First down, Mayfield. And he fires one incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
The reception, good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert.
And how about that on 3rd down? So many different directions an offense can go. Throw it out wide to the receivers, get it to their speedy running back. They changed up everything and handed it to the fullback, and he surprised them all and picked up a first down.
To throw, Mayfield, flush to his right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball is expected to be caught.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 22 yards.